Homesteading, a word that evokes images of self-sufficiency, thriving gardens, and cozy homes in harmony with nature. But is this lifestyle on the brink of becoming impossible? Homesteading has always symbolized self-reliance, sustainability, and freedom from the grip of modern consumerism. Yet, a convergence of new and growing challenges threatens to make this way of life even more demanding. Here's a closer look at why homesteading is becoming more difficult and the key preparations you can take to protect and preserve your efforts. At Buckeye Bloomstead, in this video, we're diving deep into the challenges and truths of modern homesteading. Stick around to uncover what lies ahead and how you can prepare for the journey. Welcome to Buckeye Bloomstead. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing community of homesteaders and dreamers. Let's grow together. Homesteading isn't confined to sprawling farms in the countryside. It's a lifestyle of self-sufficiency, where you grow and preserve food, raise livestock, and embrace skills like sewing, woodworking, or even renewable energy. From urban apartments to off-grid cabins, homesteading is about creating independence and building resilience, wherever you are. Many envision homesteading as idyllic, cuddly chickens, endless eggs, and lush gardens. But the reality often includes sub-zero mornings tending livestock, guarding against predators, and facing unexpected setbacks. Homesteading is rewarding, but it demands grit, adaptability, and a willingness to work through challenges. One of the greatest threats to homesteading today is the rising cost of essentials. Feed costs have soared by 40%, and tools, seeds, and building materials continue to climb. Even basics like zip ties aren't immune. Inflation and supply chain disruptions have made frugality a cornerstone of modern homesteading. Climate change adds another layer of complexity. Unpredictable weather, be it droughts, floods, or temperature swings, affects crops and livestock alike. Homesteaders must adapt to shifting seasons and prepare for the unexpected. Building resilience through crop diversity, soil health, and disaster preparedness is no longer optional, it's essential. New legislation, zoning restrictions, and water usage regulations are making homesteading increasingly difficult. While some areas embrace urban chickens and rooftop gardens, others impose strict rules that limit livestock or land use. Staying informed and advocating for fair policies is vital to protecting this way of life. Land prices are soaring, fueled by increased demand for rural living. Meanwhile, fuel and energy costs strain both small and large-scale operations. Machinery is expensive to run, and heating systems in colder climates are far from cheap. For many, homesteading requires a second job, or even a third, to make ends meet. Which of these challenges do you think is the hardest to overcome? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in this conversation. Start by mastering new skills, whether it's food preservation, tool repair, or permaculture. The more you can do independently, the less reliant you are on outside services. Learn hydroponics, experiment with renewable energy, and embrace DIY solutions. Secure supplies. Stockpile essential supplies like seeds, animal feed, and durable tools. Focus on quality over quantity. An investment in high-quality items pays off in longevity. And don't overlook fencing materials or spare parts for critical equipment. Protect against climate unpredictability by choosing drought-resistant plants, building water catchment systems, and improving soil health through composting and mulching. Free mulch from utility companies or investing in a wood chipper can make a world of difference. Homesteading thrives on community. Barter goods and services, share tools, and collaborate on large projects. Advocacy groups can also amplify your voice in local legislation, ensuring homesteading remains a viable way of life. Prepare financially by diversifying income streams. Sell surplus produce, teach skills, or offer services. Reduce debt and increase savings to weather economic fluctuations. And don't overlook grants and subsidies for sustainable practices. Homesteading isn't just a physical or financial journey, it's an emotional one. The connection to the land, the joy of harvesting your own food, and the resilience you build through challenges are deeply rewarding. But there are hard days too. Days when crops fail, when livestock is lost, or when plans don't go as intended. It's important to acknowledge these struggles and build a mindset of perseverance. Support from a community of like-minded individuals, whether online or in person, can make a world of difference. Sharing stories, successes, and even failures keeps the homesteading spirit alive, reminding us that we're not alone in this journey. In a world of advancing technology, many assume homesteading rejects modern tools. But technology can be an ally. Apps that track weather patterns, online communities that share resources, and solar-powered tools can all enhance your efforts. Take advantage of innovations like automated irrigation systems, solar chargers, or even drones for surveying larger properties. The balance between tradition and innovation is where modern homesteaders can truly thrive. Homesteading isn't new. It's rooted in centuries of self-sufficient living. By studying how past generations thrived without today's conveniences, we can learn valuable lessons about resilience and resourcefulness. From preserving food using natural methods to building shelters with local materials, there's a wealth of knowledge waiting to be rediscovered. Let history inspire your modern journey. More than skills or tools, homesteading requires a mindset, a commitment to adaptability, patience, and problem solving. It's not about perfection, but persistence. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn. Every success, no matter how small, is a step toward greater independence. Embrace the process and remember why you started. Homesteading isn't just about the present, it's an investment in the future. The skills you learn today could become essential for survival in an uncertain tomorrow. Focus on mastering one skill at a time, whether it's canning, blacksmithing, or raising livestock. The more versatile you become, the better equipped you'll be to handle challenges and share your knowledge with others. So, I bet some of you are asking, how do you go about starting a small homestead? The beauty of homesteading is that you don't have to dive in headfirst or have acres of land to begin. You can start with small, manageable steps that fit your lifestyle and resources. For example, something as simple as setting up a raised bed in your backyard, or even on a balcony, can add fresh, homegrown food to your household. If you're thinking about adding chickens or other livestock, it's crucial to do your homework. Learn what they need to thrive and how to care for them responsibly. Don't worry, we'll be releasing a video soon on the basics of raising chickens, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. Starting small not only makes homesteading more accessible, but it also allows you to build skills and confidence over time. Let's talk about the first steps you can take to begin your own homesteading journey. Every journey begins with a single step, and homesteading is no different. Start small and let your efforts grow organically over time. Perhaps begin with a single raised bed for vegetables, a couple of backyard chickens, or a small composting setup. Starting small allows you to learn without being overwhelmed. As you gain confidence, you can add more elements like fruit trees, a larger garden, or even livestock. Remember, homesteading is a marathon, not a sprint. When it comes to gardening, choose crops that are easy to grow and provide a high yield for your effort. Leafy greens, beans, tomatoes, and herbs like basil and parsley are excellent starting points. Not only are these crops beginner-friendly, but they're also versatile in the kitchen and can save money on grocery bills. Focus on what your family enjoys eating to maximize the value of your harvest. Let's start with building a basic toolkit. Every homesteader needs a reliable set of tools to get started. A sturdy shovel, a pair of pruning shears, a rake, and a wheelbarrow are foundational pieces that can handle most tasks. Invest in quality tools that will last for years. You don't need to buy everything at once. Add to your collection as your needs grow. And don't forget gloves to protect your hands and a good pair of boots for outdoor work. If you are on a budget, like many of us are, search Facebook Marketplace or other platforms for those selling items you may need. Often you will find people who will have sets of garden tools and other items that will help get you started while saving a lot of money. Let's discuss establishing some sort of water system. Yes, you could use a hose and the water supplied to your home, but what if you are on a budget and really can't afford for that water bill of yours to go up? What do you do to keep your garden watered while not busting your monthly utilities bill out of the water? Pun intended here. Water is the lifeblood of any homestead. Setting up a water system early on is crucial for long-term success. rain barrels are an excellent way to collect and store water for your garden. If you live in an area with restrictions on water collection, which, frankly, we find hard to agree with, there are still creative ways to make the most of available resources. For instance, diverting gray water from your sink to irrigate non-edible plants is one solution. If you choose this route, we recommend using a biodegradable, safe soap to use in the environment. Additionally, some viewers have designed camouflaged water catchment systems to keep their efforts discreet. If you choose to explore this route, it's important to be mindful of whom you share this information with. While we're not suggesting you violate any local ordinances, we do believe in finding innovative ways to work within or creatively navigate such restrictions. A well-thought-out water system can save you both time and effort in maintaining your garden. For example, we've set up rain barrels on our property, and we're amazed by just how much water can be collected from even one side of our roof. With 3 barrels, each holding over 55 gallons, a couple of rainy days is all it takes to fill them to capacity. Living in the southwestern part of Ohio, we've noticed fewer rainy days in recent years, but it's still enough to keep our barrels full throughout the summer. Not only does this help water our garden, but it also significantly reduces our water bill. Now let's think about creating a food storage plan. Homesteading isn't just about growing food, it's also about preserving it. Begin with simple methods like freezing, dehydrating, or canning your harvest to enjoy it year-round. We have a couple of videos out that go into more depth about how to preserve food and prepping for a what-if scenario. Start small. Preserve a few jars of jam or freeze some herbs. As your skills grow, you can branch out into fermenting, pickling, or making sauces and soups. A well-stocked pantry is a hallmark of any homestead. Also, using the Facebook Marketplace, again, we suggest locating a food dehydrator, along with some canning supplies such as a water bath canner, pressure canner, helpful reference books, etc. that will help you on your homesteading journey. To help you out, I will leave a couple of links in the video description and our channel description that will show you the equipment and supplies we personally use and where you can find them. Now, for those who are interested in adding livestock to your homestead, here is what we recommend. If you're ready to add animals to your homestead, start small. Chickens are a great first choice. They're low maintenance and provide fresh eggs daily. We have raised our own chickens for their eggs. Many raise chicken for their meat. It's a great way to provide quality food for your family. In our case, we were not interested in raising chickens for meat. To be completely transparent here, we're in our 60s, and the thought of butchering our chickens is something we just couldn't bring ourselves to do. Over the years, we've grown incredibly attached to our feathered friends. They're more than just animals to us. They're family. I know a lot of people would disagree with us referring chickens as family, but the animals on our homestead mean everything to us. We value each and every one of their little lives for the blessings they have given us in our lives. If we ever faced a situation where feeding our family depended on it, we know we might have to make that tough choice. But let's be honest, who am I kidding? The truth is, we still couldn't bring ourselves to harm them. Our hens are more than just egg layers. They're part of our tribe, as we like to put it. We were happy to have their eggs for as long as they were able to give them, and when their laying days were over, they still never saw the inside of a frying pan. Each one of our hens was allowed to live out their lives peacefully, and we saw it as the least we could do to thank them for years of providing us with their wonderful eggs. In our hearts, they'd earned their place in a loving home, a well-deserved pardon in their golden years. Now, with that being said, I am a retired veterinary tech, and I do understand all too well when illness sometimes results in an animal needing to be humanely euthanized. Unfortunately, that is the reality of having animals on your homestead. You would hope that your animals pass on peacefully in their sleep from old age, but it doesn't always happen that way. When keeping any livestock, remember to set up their living area so that they remain safe from predators. That is your responsibility to provide a clean and safe environment. Be sure to do your due diligence in what is needed to ensure a great life for your livestock. What do you think about keeping hens for eggs production only? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Just a small request, please be kind. We respect and appreciate everyone's views and opinions, but remember, many of our viewers, like us, wear our hearts on our sleeves. Let's keep the conversation respectful and uplifting as we share our love and gratitude for the food and animals that sustain us. Many may not understand our logic for keeping hens. We just found that our hens, for the few that we are able to have where we live, were far more valuable to us for their eggs than for the single meal or two you'd get from butchering them. Fresh eggs not only provide us with a daily food source, but they also represent years of ongoing nourishment. Scientists say that eggs are one of the healthiest things you can feed your family when cooked by healthy methods, and are what they call the perfect protein. Now, remember that dehydrator I mentioned earlier? It's not just for fruits and vegetables, herbs, or jerky. You can also use it to preserve your extra eggs. Dehydrating eggs is a fantastic way to ensure you always have a supply on hand for baking or cooking, even when fresh eggs aren't available. In the future, we will have a video to see firsthand how we preserve our eggs. But in the meantime, here's how you can do it. It is easier than you think. Prepare the eggs. Start by cracking your eggs into a bowl and whisking them until the yolks and whites are fully combined. You can do a small batch or several dozen at a time, depending on your dehydrator's capacity. Now, some people do not cook their eggs, and after whisking them up, they just place them in the dehydrator. We personally are not comfortable with this. We feel it could be unsafe, and we would rather err on the side of caution. So, we cook our eggs by scrambling them after they have been whisked in a pan over medium heat. Cooking them first, we feel, is essential for food safety and ensures the eggs dehydrate properly. Let them cool completely before the next step. Also, you can dehydrate them in an oven if you don't have a food dehydrator, but we choose to use a dehydrator since we don't want to basically cook them twice, ultimately voiding them of a lot of their nutritional value. So, using a dehydrator, dehydrate the eggs. Spread the cooked eggs in a single layer on your dehydrator trays. Make sure the pieces are small enough for even drying. Set your dehydrator to 135 degrees Fahrenheit, or the recommended temperature for your specific model, and dehydrate the eggs for 8 to 10 hours or until they're completely dry and brittle. Let them cool completely and check again to make sure they are totally dried. If not, place them back in for a couple of hours more. Check again to be certain the eggs are 100% dry and brittle. Grind into powder. Once dehydrated, grind the dried eggs into a fine powder using a food processor or blender. This creates a versatile egg powder that's easy to store and use. Store properly. Transfer the egg powder into airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags with an oxygen absorber for long-term storage. You can also store them in mason jars, but for really long-term storage to preserve them for up to 25 years, we use Mylar bags with an oxygen absorber in them. However you choose to store your egg powder, be sure to keep the containers in a cool, dark, and dry place to maximize shelf life. Properly stored egg powder can last for years. You probably are asking, what if I don't have chickens? Well, the good news is that if you do not have chickens, you can do the same with any store-bought eggs. Take advantages of sales, especially around Easter time. Some stores will even sell several trays of eggs together. Costco, in particular, sells eggs by the cartons and by the trays. This will allow you to process a large batch of eggs to add to your preps in larger batches. Egg powder is perfect for baking and cooking, and by simply adding water can be reconstituted into scrambled eggs, and they taste pretty good. It's a convenient and space-saving way to preserve eggs for long-term use. We will soon have a detailed video showing you exactly how to dehydrate and store eggs step by step, so be sure to watch for it in the near future. Additionally, in our area, city ordinances limit us to 6 hens, and we are not permitted to keep roosters, which makes raising chickens for meat impractical. With these restrictions, the cost of raising hens solely for meat would be cost prohibitive for us. Instead, we focus on their incredible ability to provide eggs, which feed our family consistently and sustainably for years to come. Our hens have become a vital part of our homesteading journey. not just for their eggs in our case, but for the happiness they bring to our lives. They remind us daily that even the smallest contributors can make a big difference. I want to reiterate again, before introducing any livestock, ensure you have proper housing, fencing, and a reliable food source. Research the needs of your chosen animals thoroughly to give them the best care and keep your efforts sustainable. Now let's talk about setting realistic expectations. Homesteading is rewarding, but it's not without its challenges. Set realistic goals and be prepared for setbacks along the way. Celebrate small victories like your first harvest or your first jar of preserved food. Every step forward is progress, and every challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. Remember, perfection isn't the goal. Resilience and adaptability are. Building a community. No homesteader is an island. Building a network of like-minded individuals can provide support, share resources, and offer guidance. It is amazing how much you can learn from others, especially those who have been at this for years. Join local homesteading groups, attend workshops, or participate in online forums. Sharing knowledge and experiences with others can help you overcome challenges and discover new ideas for your homestead. Homesteading isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to learn, adapt, and grow. Whether you're just starting or well on your way, remember that every effort you make is a step towards self-sufficiency and resilience. What steps will you take to begin or expand your homesteading journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Buckeye Bloomstead. Together, we can face the hurdles and thrive no matter the challenges. And have fun with it. It is so rewarding, and you can do this. We thank you for being with us today. Until next time, happy homesteading.